Okay, this is going to probably be a long one. I, 24-year-old female, will give you guys some backstory, so hopefully you'll see my point of view. My mom, 39-year-old female, let's call her Mallory, had me young. She had a very bad childhood because of drugs, and ultimately she chose to keep with that lifestyle. She also suffers from bipolar disorder. She met my step-adoptive dad, 39-year-old male, when I was 9. That's when she very first started getting herself really together. Went to school, became a chemist, had another baby, got married, I got adopted, life was good. But in all of this, know that every time a rape happened, she was back on the drugs and screaming, "I need friends," as she leaves the house. It was very back and forth with her being clean and high. In 2013, her grandma passes away. For some reason, this was enough for her to really spiral out on drugs and land herself in prison in 2015 for child abuse against me and my, at the time, 2-year-old brother. My dad reported her. Yes, they were still married, now that I have some of that info out of the way. Back when I was 7, so around 2005, she came home all beat up, claiming she got out of her car on a back road and a man pushed her out of the ditch and beat her and raped her, then ran away into the woods. They all believed her. After my dad came into the picture, around 2014 to 2015, she calls rape again, saying she was driving on the back road when she hit an animal, stopped the car to see the damage, and some guy grabbed her and held her captive for 3 days, raping her. Now she is in prison. She gets out in 2017, and my dad is willing to help her get back on her feet. She comes home under the circumstances that she will leave within 6 months and have herself together. She never leaves. Screams that she was raped the last 6 months every day by the same guard. Says she needs more time and wants to be with my dad again. They eventually try to make it work till 2019 when she dropped her family for friends once again and hit the streets. It's all kind of a poop show for a while after that, but she does eventually come back and gets a job at a local gas station down the road from my dad's house. Yeah, that idiot let her move back in. It's all going great for a long while. 6 months ago, she decided she was fat, so she stopped her meds saying that they made her that way. A spiral started again. She was gone all the time, lost her job, really pushing my dad's limits. She knew he was ready to leave her. 2 weeks ago, I get the call. It's my mom. She says she almost killed herself and she is living in her car in random places because my dad left her and kicked her out after she was raped. I asked her, "You were raped?" She said that she went to the store and was pulled over on the way home by 2 police officers. They searched her and found half of a washed and dried Vivance. Then they told her it was either sleep with them both or go to jail. So she slept with both of them right then on the side of the road? I'm sorry, but I just can't believe her anymore. I hate to discredit a victim, but good Lord, how many times is this going to happen to a single woman? Who never goes to the police or hospital afterward? There are other allegations out there I don't even know about, I'm sure of. I'm sorry for the mess of a post. I just have so many emotions right now and I don't know how to be there for her anymore. Does that make me the AH? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I believe the first time, yes, when the man took her. But since the prison guard, no, he is so unbelievably over her and her poop. They have an 11-year-old son together and he calls me, telling me how crazy it is with her there. My dad actually just called and informed me that she has broken into the apartment attached to his house, changed the locks, and barricaded the windows, refusing to leave. Comment 2. Not the idiot. No one wants to blame an actual victim, but her claims are getting a bit ridiculous. When she makes her rape claim, what reaction does she get from your dad? Does he immediately cave and give her whatever she's asking for? Comment 3. I think that may be for the best. I have a 2-year-old daughter now, and I can't even let her around my mom. Now, for the next story. Backstory. My family and I have planned on going to our family cabin for the long weekend. We even had a prior engagement scheduled for Saturday, tomorrow, that we rescheduled so that we could leave for said cabin after our kids got out of school on Friday. today, which would be roughly 3 p.m. We've all been looking forward to this weekend to unwind and relax in the serenity of the outdoors and away from the hustle and bustle of city living. So today at noon, 3 hours before we were set to leave, my wife calls me and tells me that her salon had a last-minute cancellation for tomorrow, Saturday, morning, and if she doesn't take it, she won't get an opening for 3 months. She asked me for my opinion for what she should do, and I told her that she needs to make that on her own because regardless of her decision, the kids and I are going to leave for the lake after school as we have been talking about it all week and getting them hyped up for the weekend. Ultimately, she chose to schedule the appointment and will join us tomorrow afternoon. So cue to earlier, I packed up the kids and took them to the lake. I was being a bit short and aloof while talking with my wife after we had arrived. She asked what's wrong, and I told her that I thought it was selfish that she scheduled the appointment when we planned this weekend away, that we moved a family event so that we could have an extra night away. She said I was overreacting and that if I didn't want her to go, that I should have said something. I told her that she's an adult and I didn't want her to resent me for keeping her from going, even though she could have easily still decided to stay even if I told her I thought we should all go together. She said I'm being an AH and don't know what it's like to schedule salon appointments. This last bit is true. I get my hair cut once a month, takes 30 minutes, and can usually schedule my appointment 1 week out. In case anyone is wondering, we both get a fair bit of adult/personal personal time. I fully support her personal time. In fact, I encourage it. My issue is that we had plans as a family, and she chose to negate those plans for an event solely concerning her. So, Reddit, am I the idiot for telling my wife she's selfish for scheduling her hair appointment when it conflicted with previously made family plans? Edit. Grammar. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Either everyone sucks here or no idiots here. If the hair appointment was so important, she should have stressed that to you. She should have explained why it was so important for her to take that appointment and arrive late for the weekend. If you were going to be short with her and think she was selfish for taking the appointment, then you should have told her. Do what you want to do, but I think it's important for you to go with us. Y'all sound like two people who can't communicate. Now you're both pissed and you're going to ruin the weekend for your kids if you don't get over yourselves. Comment 2. I have the same kind of problem. My wife always asks my opinion about if she should take on one more course that means 1 weekend away per month for 3 years, or if it's okay if she works late or goes away for a day or 2. I never say no because I don't want to be a controlling husband. My reasoning is that she's a big girl. She makes her own decisions, and if it's more important for her to do X, Y, or Z than spending time with me and her son, so be it. Of course, resentment builds up, and we're getting divorced now. Comment 3. You're the idiot, and really only for one reason. She asked you to weigh in, and instead of standing up for yourself and leading her, you abstained from giving an opinion, clearly hoping she would make the right choice. You don't get to abscond from leading your family and then be mad at the results. Had that not happened, you would be 100% in the right. Now for the next story. I just walked into Cabela's, a favorite store of mine, and I was immediately greeted by an employee asking if I needed help with anything. I said no because I knew where I was going, but she started to talk to me about the Cabela's credit card. I was very polite in saying no thanks every 5 seconds, but she was trying to sell me on it for 5 minutes until I finally got away. I then proceeded to where I needed to go, but the item I wanted was behind the counter. I asked the guy working about it, and the same credit card, BS I just went through happens again. He is trying to sell this card for 5 minutes, and we haven't even talked about what I'm here for yet. After 5 minutes, we finally start talking about the product, but he keeps shoving little credit card one-liners in the whole time. Finally, I had enough and told the guy to shut up. I don't give a K about the damn card. And I turned around and walked out of the store without buying anything. I'm surprised a third employee didn't stop me on the way out to talk to me about it. Anyway, as I was walking out, my wife apologized to the employee and told me I was very rude and kind of in a *** hole. Is she right? Am I the idiot? I might start shopping at Scheels? Edit. To clear some misconceptions, I didn't think I would get this many responses. 1. The second employee was in his 40 to 50s, not some kid. 2. A lot of people are saying this is mandated by management and there is a 3 no's rule, but I told the guy no at least 15 times and showed absolutely no interest at all. He just needed someone to be blunt. 3. When I told him to shut up, I don't give a ***K about the card, I didn't yell and scream. I said it in a slightly louder volume than normal talking. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. No idiots here. They're following corporate policy, which is often completely tone-deaf to the realities of the average customer. Their hands are a bit tied as a result, often putting them as the target for any backlash. Your frustration and subsequent breaking point were totally understandable, though maybe use less aggressive verbiage in any future scenarios. Comment 2. It's not their fault. Their manager is under insane pressure from corporate to sell these cards. I know somebody that worked for a different retailer that also pushes cards, and the store manager was expected to call the district manager every time a customer was rung up and did not want to apply for a card. Every time. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Pushy salespeople suck, but likely they are being forced to try and sell signing up for the cards by management. You did the right thing. Better still would be to write Cabela's directly and let them know their poop policy cost them your business. Now, for the next story. My ex and I split up when my daughter Sarah, 14 years old, was 4. My ex has been married to her husband Sean for almost 3 years. I have my daughter 4 days out of the week due to her mother's work schedule. I don't like Sean. He's always given me a weird vibe. My daughter and I are very close. Sarah wanted to go to the movies with some friends and then to a friend's house, where boys were going to be there. I told her to be on the lookout and to call me if she got uncomfortable. This conversation went on while we were at her mom's. I was picking her up. Sean was in the room and said, "Why are you worried? She doesn't even have boobs yet." My daughter is already self-conscious and has asked me to buy her padded bras to fit in with her friends. Sarah went mute and ran upstairs. I asked him why he would say that about a 14-year-old. He said he was saying the truth and that she was safe from the boys. I just got filled with rage and my hands moved before I had a thought process and punched him. My ex kicked me out, made me wait in the car for Sarah. Later that night, my ex texted me saying I needed to apologize to Sean. He may have to go to the hospital because his nose is bruised pretty bad, and that Sean was only joking around and I let my temper get out of control. I just felt as though he was sexualizing my daughter and also putting her down too, because it is something she is very self-conscious about. Am I the idiot? Now, for the next story. I, 25 years old, female, and my fiancé, 25 years old, male, just had our first child in May 2023, and my parents are wanting to see her, but I'm not allowing it. Let me give you guys a quick backstory. Me and my parents never really got along. When I was a child, my father was an alcoholic, a narcissist, an abuser, and a cheater. My mother was a manipulator, liar, and vindictive. Being the oldest out of 6 kids, I was responsible for taking care of them from time to time, so I didn't really enjoy being a child. Growing up, my mother would accuse me of wanting to sleep with my father after my father asked me, his 12-year-old daughter, if I wanted to have sex with him. Of course, I said hell no, and ever since then, she'd accuse me of wanting to sleep with him. It's my father's hateful words to me and my mother's accusations and her treating me like I was nothing but a stranger for years. All I was trying to be was a mother's girl. That was the icing on the cake. Side note, my fiancé is Caucasian and I am African American. I say that because my father had texted me when I was 6 months pregnant and told me that he wished death upon me and my wicked baby. That was the final straw. All because my little brother, who is now in college, had no place to go on his fall break. My fiancé and I had no place for him to sleep or even stay. My parents ended up flying him to Florida, where they live now. I told him and my mother that they weren't allowed to see my daughter or talk to me ever again. Fast forward, I had my daughter. She's 4 months now, and my parents are bombarding me wanting to see my daughter. I got a text message from my grandma. Now, our side note, my grandma is very Christian and believes in forgive and forget. She wants me to forgive my parents and let them see their first grandchild, and that I need to be an adult about it. She says, "It's been 18 years since then. You're an adult now. You'll be okay." That enraged me because how dare she say that to me? But also, on the other hand, I've been trying to keep my faith in God and be positive more often, so now I'm battling within myself. Should I let my parents see my child and forget about the past, or just block their numbers and let them never see their grandchild? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I appreciate everybody's advice about this situation. I ended up telling my grandma to leave me alone. I told her if she keeps bringing up my parents, I'll block her and she'll never see my daughter again. That's a good point. My father said that to me. No telling what he'll do or say to my daughter. It's just so crazy to me that after 25 years, my mother is still with this man. In fact, they never apologized to me, not one time, about how they treated me. I just want my daughter to be happy and feel loved. To be honest, when she gets older and if she has questions, I was planning to tell her that her grandparents had died, but I know that sounds kind of harsh. Like I said, I just want my daughter to be happy and not worry about messy family members. Comment 2. I'm going to say that under normal circumstances, I believe that children's lives are only made better by the more people who love them. However, in this case, not the idiot, not the A asterisk. Asterisk, 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 asterisk E. Absolutely not. And let me give you this. Forgiveness of an abuser is for you, not for the abuser. It is something internal that you do to set yourself free from the anger and hatred and give that to God. It does not mean that you have to continue to have a relationship with that person. It does not mean that you need to see them. It does not mean that you forget what they did. You can forgive and still not have a relationship with them. Comment 3. Not the idiot. And absolutely not. This isn't ultimately about your capacity to forgive, nor what any others want. Nor is it about whether you would be okay. One of your very most important jobs is protecting your child. At the age of 12, your dad asked if you wanted to have sex with him. Your mom, rather than viewing this as the awful thing it was, decided to blame you. For me, those are lifetime disqualifiers. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!